this with errors. What? Wait. This class is a practical session. Okay, this class is highly practical. It means that I'm going to show us how to use the platform very well. So it's not like an introduction class. Okay, yeah, you can. Thank you. Please mute yourself. I'm trying to mute everyone now. All right, so it's not a introductory class. We've already talked about introduction to cryptocurrency and what it is, and how it's being used, how we've changed from money to, from paper money now to digital currencies. We talked about that. So I'm going to show us how to trade using the Binance platform. All right. So before we get into that, there's a slide I will have to take you through, and then once we're nearly done with the slide, we'll start the practical session. So the slide should take just like 15 to 30 minutes for those who are attending for the first time. Okay. Then in the meantime, for those who've attended the first class, you can go ahead and register on Binance. Now, when you register on Binance, you're going to get $5 in BUSD. When you register, do your KYC and complete a trade. Complete a trade could just be you depositing fiat. You can deposit Naira to your Binance account. I'm going to show you how to do that. All those things are part of the practicals that we do today. All right, so I'm going to send the link on here. Send the link here now for those who have not registered yet on Binance. So this is what you should do. Okay, so I'll send the link now to everyone. Just to be sure, how many of us already have a Binance account? You could just indicate in the chat so I'll know. How many of us already have a Binance account? Okay, she has already. Okay, Gloria Doris Precious. Oh, okay. Pizza, you already have. That's nice. That's very good. Very, very good. Okay, so for those who don't have a Binance account yet, you can register. I've sent the link here already for registration. Interesting. Cynthia does. Okay, that's good. All right, fine. So let's dive into the class. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Yes, this screen. So we're going to look at the basics of crypto trading. A lot of us already, I think 3 participants already, yes, you already do. So most of us already understand this, but for the sake of those who are just, maybe this is their first class, and for those also who will be watching the YouTube video later on, this is what I'm going to do this presentation so you can all better understand what trading is about, crypto trading. Okay, so basics of crypto trading. Binance. Binance is the #1 exchange in the world. I hope you guys know. And they are the ones organizing this. This is all part of a platform called My Binance class. So basically, 2/3 people who know how to trade, who have used the Binance ecosystem, they get into a program to teach other people how to use the Binance platform to trade. Yeah, you've heard about people trading OTC, like people buying and selling Bitcoin. We do that on Binance. So this is the world's leading blockchain and cryptocurrency infrastructure provider with the financial product suite that includes the largest digital asset exchange by volume. What this means is Binance is the biggest crypto trading platform, and you can know that it's the biggest because it trades the largest digital asset exchange, like by volume. So a lot of Bitcoin are being traded on Binance, more on Binance than on other exchanges. All right, so we're going to dive deep into what trading is. So what is trading? Trading is basically buying and selling. So let's go back here. So buying and selling. If you have understand the barter system where people brought in something, let's say maybe yam to trade for salt because there's no cash there, there's no money there. So they brought in something to exchange for another. Trading is basically exchanging um, anything of value for another thing of value. So an example I was giving here is, let's say you're trading an old computer for a new game console. For my guys that like PS4, imagine someone says, okay, I have PS2, PS4 is coming, maybe I don't want to sell it, or maybe I want another computer, and then make the exchange with another friend of yours. So that basically what you guys have done, you've traded something that's of value, you get to the both of you. Now the same thing happens in trading, cryptocurrency. All right, then let me go to my Binance account so you can see some of the things I want to show you. Why is this here? Hold on, I can share my screen again. All right. Okay, let me share my screen again. Right. So this is the trading interface. So just to be sure you guys are following, how many of you have seen this and maybe you got confused? You can unmute yourself and say something, or just put it in the chat box. How many of you have seen this and maybe got confused one time or the other? You saw this charts, this trading interface, and you just see numbers moving everywhere, but you didn't understand what it meant. Okay, so 2 persons are raising their hands. 2 persons have. Okay, so I'm going to demystify this. That I'm going to make it easier for you to understand. You get it? All right. Now, this area where my cursor is, this part is called the order book. Okay. This part is called the order book. Here you can see the various orders that are being traded for. Okay, first of all, let me take you here. This part is the BTC USDT pair. It means that here is the pair BTC and USDT. It means I can use USDT to buy Bitcoin, BTC. I can also sell BTC to get USDT. You get. Let me show you how it looks on the phone. So let me for those of us who are using mobile, I'm going to share my screen on phone right now. So let me stop share here and share here. Okay, let's make myself post. Alright, so I'm going to share now. Share screen. Okay, so let's go to Binance. So this is my Binance. Perfect. That plenty chart you saw on the PC. This is what it looks like on the. This is what it looks like. So I click here, markets. Let's say I want to go to BTC USDT. BTC. BTC USDT. So this is where I'm at. This is it. This is the order book. You can see the order book at the right side. This this part. Then, if you want to, okay. So this part is the order book. This area is the order book. Then, if I want to look at that candle that I saw on my PC, I'll just click here. Let me use the pen again so you can see. I'm just going to click this button here that looks like a candle. Right? So this is the chart. You get it? So this is how it looks like on the phone. This is a 1 minute timeline. Let me take it to the 12-hour timeline. So we can see that in the last 12 hours, this is what has been happening. Each candle is representing 12 hours. Okay, let me show you how I got that part. This is where I pick to check for the timelines that I can use to view the chart history. So let me stop share here and let's come back here. So I'll show you what it looks like on the PC. Yes, I will have a recording of this. I'm going to put it on YouTube and I'll share the link. And then another thing you can do, because I'm still going to have this class on I'm still going to have this class on my WhatsApp group. So let me share the link so you can join the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm going to share the link to join the WhatsApp group. I'll have this class on that WhatsApp group later on. This is my second class. The third class will be on the WhatsApp group. So I'm sharing the link here to everyone. All right. So this is the link to everybody. So just in case maybe you have to go join in the middle of the class or you have to go do something, this is the link to the WhatsApp group. So you can join this group. Later on, let's say about a week or two, I'll have a class like this on that WhatsApp group. Okay, so let's get back to the class. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. So we'll continue with the slide before the class starts, before we get to the practical sessions. Okay, so I'll finish this, then I'll show us everything on the practical areas. Back to forward. All right, so I showed you what the order book was already in that chart. Then we looked at the trend, you saw the various charts, and then I showed you where the market pairs were, the ones on PC and also on mobile, right? Okay. Now next, we won't talk about market pairs. Just like you have, using the example of the barter trade, you had someone bring yam to get oil. Let's say that is a market pair. You use yam to buy oil. On cryptocurrency, on Binance cryptocurrency exchange, on Binance exchange, there are market pairs. Now, the most common market pair we know is BTC USDT. That's the most common because nearly everybody trades that BTC USDT. So there are different market pairs also. There's BTC Naira, so you can actually deposit Naira in your Binance wallet and in your Binance account and use it to buy Bitcoin. So there's BTC Naira. It means that you can use BTC to buy Naira, or you can sell Naira to buy BTC. That's what this market pair means. There's BTC other coins. So there's BTC Algo, there's BTC Ethereum. There's basically BTC with any other coin you want to trade on Binance. And so we have different types of orders on Binance. So right now you can just make notes, you get, because I'm going to show you practical of all this. So there's limit order, there's market order, and then there's stop loss order. The limit order is where you buy or sell an asset like at a specific price, or maybe at a price better than a specific price to get. And that price is called the limit. Say I want to, for example, right now BTC is at around 15,000 something. Say I want to buy BTC at 16,000. Sorry, say I want to sell BTC. I have some BTC. I want to sell it at 16,000. That's like a limit price. So I'm saying sell at this price. So limit buy orders will execute at the limit price or a little bit lower, while limit sell orders will execute at the limit price or a little bit higher. So for sell and for buy, they are basically the same thing. There's a limit to them. Then there's the market order. Market orders are orders that are executed at the market price. Now we know that cryptocurrencies, they are volatile. Like the rise and fall are quick, sometimes in milliseconds. You get. So if I want to buy, let's say I just deposited Naira in my account, and I want to buy BTC now. I don't want to wait till BTC is at a certain price before I buy. What I would use is a market order. So I just click market order. I'm going to show you how to do that. I just click market order and start clicking market order. I click on like how many of my Naira I want to use to buy the BTC and click buy, and it buys instantly. It's not going to take them because at that point I'm buying at the market order. Then there's a stop loss order. The stop loss order is the part where this is the part that saves a lot of crypto traders. Now it says stop loss order is a type of limit or market order that's only activated when a certain price is reached. This example, I already have BTC and I want to sell it when it gets to $16,000. Let's say right now, let me just check what escape. Let me see what the price of BTC is now. Good. BTC is at 15,000. Let me show you what the market order is. Now this is the limits. This is limits, and this is market order. You can see here. There's no place. You can't put in the price. If you can see my screen, right? Good. You can't put in the price because it's market order. It means that if I'm buying BTC, let's say I have USDT, this USDT, BTC there. If I'm buying BTC at this point, it would sell at this current price. It will sell at this current price. This is the price of the market right now. So it's fluctuating between 907 and 906. So it will sell at this current price. But if I want to set a limit order, so I come to limits. This is the price BTC is at the moment. So let's say I want to sell BTC. I want to sell my USDT. This is buy BTC. Okay, this is sell BTC. All right. So if I have some BTC, which I do, and I want to sell it when it gets to $19,000, when BTC hits $19,000, I just click here. Sorry, $16,000. I just click here. $16,000. I put the amount of BTC I want to sell, maybe 27% of the BTC that I have, or 75% of all of it. I input that. It will show me how much USDT it will be, and then I click on sell at this point. Now, so this is limit order, this is market order, and then this is stop limit. Let me show you stop limit. Okay, this is where we are. Now, BTC is at 15.9, and I'm saying that, oh, I think Bitcoin will get to, maybe I do my analysis and I feel that Bitcoin will get to $16,000. I'm just going to put here $16,000 and then put stop. Stop means that as at this point, my Bitcoin is at 15,900. Let's say I already have Bitcoin. It's at 15,000. No, I'm always going to buy one. Okay, let's use this. Let's say I already have Bitcoin, and the value of my Bitcoin right now is 15,900. But I want to sell it at 16,000. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to type here 16,000. Where are you? 16. So I'm saying that I want to sell Bitcoin at 16,000. And then we stop. My Bitcoin right now is at 15,908. What if Bitcoin drops from that 15,900? Because at the moment, I'm predicting that the price will go up. What if the price comes down? I'm predicting that the price will go up. Now, what if the price comes down instead of going up? It means that my order will not execute and the value of my Bitcoin would reduce. So what I will do is put a stop limit and tell my trade that, okay, at this point, if Bitcoin drops to 5,000, 15,000, right now it's at 15,908. Okay, see it has dropped to 15,890. So I'll tell my stop order, if Bitcoin drops to 15,800, sell off. You get? Because if it doesn't execute this 16,000 USDT trade, and Bitcoin instead drops to $5,000, I'll lose the value of my asset of my BTC. So to prevent that from happening, I'm going to use a stop limit. So I'm telling this trade that if Bitcoin doesn't get to 16,000, but it's now dropping and it drops to 15,800, sell. So that if Bitcoin drops to $10,000, I would have made some. Okay, what's happening? I would have stopped like the fatal losses that I would have had. Do you guys understand this? If you do, please let me know. If you don't, still ask a question. You can unmute yourself. Okay. Cynthia, you have a question? I'm asking you to unmute.
Okay. My question is, if I should set a stop limit,
Yeah.
let's say I bought, sorry, I'm trying to zoom this thing. Let's say I bought at 15, let's say I bought BTC at 15,800 and 890, 15,890, and now I'm putting my stop loss, I'm putting my stop loss at 5,800, and my sell limit is 16,000. So now, if my sell limit does not execute, and then is my stop limit that, let's say the market goes bad and it comes to stop limit, which is
Yes.
15,800. So it means I'm losing now, because it means I've lost like $90, right?
Yes, that's what it means. But you can actually still set your stop loss at 15,890 or maybe 15,880 because
Okay, what if maybe I don't want to, I don't want to set a stop limit, but I just want to sell. If it's up to $16,000, it should sell. But if it's not, it shouldn't sell. So that I will still have my USDT.
what you do is then you use a limit order. That's what you just do. You just use a limit order that tells it that if it gets to this price, if it gets to this 16,000 USDT, sell at that price. That's what you just do. Tell it. But the stop limit is to help you so that if something happens in the market and BTC goes to $5,000, like that thing happened in, I think it was in March or
Okay.
yeah, it happened that period. So some persons who didn't use stop limits, they made a loss in quotes. A loss because the Bitcoin dropped from, let's say, from $10,000 to $5,000. And if they didn't keep their BTC till now, they would have made some losses at that period. Do you understand?
Okay, but let's say after making, let's say if if person decide not to put a stop loss and the market goes so bad, let's say from $16,000 to $1,000, but the person still decide not to sell, and later in the future the market goes up again,
Yes.
with the person will still make his or her gain,
Yes.
right?
Yes. The person still make his own gain. That kind of trading is what we call, okay, we call it long-term trading, but I
Okay.
think we're going to talk
Okay.
about it here on
All
types
right.
of trade. We're trading swing traders. It's here. These are kind of traders that buy low and sell and hold it for a long time before they sell. But let's still get at this. This is where we're at. Okay, but limit audience. Okay, who has a question again? Let me get back to this place. Okay, Gloria. All right, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I understand what you're saying, but on my platform, I don't even know how to get to this. I can see what's on your screen, but
Okay.
I don't know how to get there.
There. Okay, where
I
are
just
you
have
at?
where I
Let
have.
me share your screen. Let me allow me share screen so you can see.
Okay. How do I do that now? Okay.
Hold on. Just to start video. Okay, I'm going to make you a host. All right, so you can share screen. Are you using a phone or a laptop?
I'm using the phone for my Zoom. I'm using the
Okay,
laptop for the
okay.
Binance.
For Binance. Okay, that means for you to be able to share screen, you have to use the Zoom on your laptop. So I think I'll just give you some time to do that. Since it's a laptop you want to use to trade, you have to attend the class on your laptop so that you can share the screen so I can show you. Or what you can do is take a picture, and if you've joined that group, put it on that group so I can see and help you out. All right. Does any other person have a question so we can continue? If you do, this is a practical session, so this class is actually practical. So which means that what you can do at the moment is get in on your phone or on your PC, register on Binance. Even if you have questions about how to do your KYC or how to deposit, whatever it is, that's what this class is for. Practical, it's practical. So just get on, register for Binance, and then if you're having any issue, let me know while I'm going with the class. And if you have any issue, you can raise your hands so I can. Okay, PZ does. All right, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. PZ.
Okay, ma. Karla,
Yeah, I can hear
good
you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, actually, my question is now, I'm very, very clear with what you're saying now. So I just want to be clear more based on, there's something in economics that will call forces of demand and supply.
Yes.
Like for instance, the market is here that determines the price of a particular goods. So
Okay.
I want to know, for instance, now if more people go for Bitcoin to purchase Bitcoin, save and all those stuff, does it cause Bitcoin to raise or drop? Does that market force apply? Does it apply on Bitcoin?
Yes, it does. In fact, the reason we say cryptocurrency is the currency of the future is because it is purely controlled by market forces, supply and demand. Purely. That's why it's different from our fiat system, countries' money system, because the government can just come and print in money, inject it into the economy, and it causes some trouble. You get? But on cryptocurrency, it is basically the process of demand and supply that controls it. Everything you're seeing here is people buying and selling. In fact, okay, we're going to come to that part, but I'll show you the technical indicators. What you can see if the market is overbought and if it is being oversold at the moment. So we're going to come to that. I'll show you that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So does anyone have a question again? Gloria. Okay. All right. Can unmute yourself, Gloria. All right, Gloria. Are you still there? You can unmute yourself and ask a question. Okay. I think she left the hand raised. All right, so let's continue. In the absence of any further question, let's just continue. So we understand what stop limits and limit orders and market orders are, right? Okay, so let's come back here. Okay, so we've talked about this. We talked about this stop loss order. Okay, so technical analysis and fundamental analysis. A lot of people who've been trading, I'm pretty sure you've come across this before. What technical analysis are, fundamental analysis. Now, this is how to look at it. Just look at technical analysis like they have to do with maths. They have to do with 1 + 1 is 2, 3 + 3 is.
Hello?
Okay, Gloria, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. But it's a whole lot of process. I just wanted to explain something. Probably you understand.
Okay, let me go back there so you can see.
I said where I am is where you've got dashboard, payment, security, reward. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Hold on. Dashboard, payment, security, reward. Like you're not in the trading interface at all.
No, I'm not on the trading interface. It's just when you register into Binance, that's the
Yes.
platform that comes up first.
Let me see if this is what you're saying. Is this what you're seeing?
No. This is not what I'm saying.
Okay, have you registered on Binance before now? Or
Yes, I have. No.
Okay. Have you logged into your account?
Yes, I am even seeing where I have welcome to Binance, register account, 2-factor verification, deposit phones.
Okay, is that on your phone or your PC?
That's what I'm seeing on my PC.
Okay,
Does it look different from the PC?
No. Go to Binance. Like just on your PC, go to Binance.com.
Okay.
On your PC, just go to Binance.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay, so when you get there, make sure you log in. That's if you've not logged in. Is it showing that you're logged in?
Yeah, it still takes me to the dashboard. I don't know what the dashboard.
Okay, you know what? Do a screenshot and put it on that group.
I can't put it on which group?
On the I sent a group on the chat.
Okay, the WhatsApp group.
Yes. Just do a screenshot and
okay.
Put it on that group so I can see.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay, who has a question? Okay. Okay. All right, so we're all on the same page at the moment. Right, so let's continue. So just in case you are on your PC, this is how to get to that interface. Just go to passive. Right.
Hello.
Right here. Okay. So back here. All right. So I was talking about technical analysis and fundamental analysis. I was talking about how technical analysis is like 1 + 1 is 2, 3 + 3 is 6. There are rules to follow, and understanding technical analysis has to do with understanding market patterns, using price history and patterns, trends that emerge to make predictions about the market. So you're trying to say, because this candle has been acting like this, or because the market has been acting like this, this is going to happen. An example was when BTC was at 15,000 something. You know, we were saying if it crosses 16,000, then it means that it's going to get to 20,000. Now, how did we understand that? Because of price history and patterns. You know, and technical analysis has to do with charts, looking at charts, reading them, and then looking at candle behaviors also. Then fundamental analysis has to do with think of fundamental analysis like making business decisions. So we know Bitcoin has its own blockchain. Ethereum has its own blockchain. Some other currencies have their blockchains, and there are things that are being done in those blockchains aside from what is being done in trading. So it could be partnerships with different companies. Let's say I'm going to use a coin. Let's say like Algorand. I understand how Algorand blockchain is. So one of the things that could act as fundamental analysis for me, that if I'm buying algos, could be me looking at, okay, what are the partnerships that are happening right now in Algorand, or what are the new solutions or new products that the Algorand blockchain is bringing to the table. So those kind of things can help me understand that, okay, this currency is going to go far. Okay. So those are just part of fundamental analysis. It requires looking at the underlying factors that can affect an asset's value. And he said for Bitcoin, this includes number of addresses, hash rate, trading volume. This also applies for other cryptocurrencies. So, but for this class, we're going to look more at technical analysis. Now, the main tools in technical analysis are candlestick charts, trend lines and support and resistance, and then common technical indicators, TA indicators, that's technical analysis indicators, and how to use them. In this class, we're going to look at three. The RSI, this is the one that PZ was talking about, Philip was talking about. This is one that shows when a coin is overbought or oversold. Okay. RSI, moving averages, and then Bollinger Bands. I'm going to show you how to use this. So for candlesticks are made up of 4 data points: the open, the high, the low, and the close. Let me show you how they look like. Skip. Okay, so let's come here. Right. Now this is a candlestick. First, we are on a 1-day timeline. It means that every candlestick here represents 1 day. You get? This is the candlestick representing today. This one here is showing us. Excuse me. This is the one representing today. Here we can see that this small ticker here. I wish I had something to show you guys. Okay, so I've zoomed in. This small ticker here shows that Bitcoin started today at 15,717, right? And right now, at this point of this class, it's at 16,303. What am I looking at? BTC USDT, right? Okay. And this is the 1-day candle. Right? Now, each candle represents a day. If I go to the hourly candle, let's say 1 hour candle, each candle represents an hour. So in the last 1 hour, this is what has happened to Bitcoin. In the last 1 hour, it had risen from 15,749 to, because you have to look at the ticker, it has risen from 15,707 something to 15,926. This is what has happened to Bitcoin in the last 1 hour. So if before I bought at this price here, you can see it here showing 15,750. If I bought at this in the last 1 hour, by now I should be able to sell at this price, 15,922. You get? So this is what each candle represents according to this timelines. So these are the candlesticks. Each one is representing an hour. If it was for 1 month, it means that each candle is representing 1 month. And at the bottom here, you can see the dates. These are the dates at the bottom. So for this hour, you can see the time here at the bottom. Yeah, this is one for 12 o'clock. This is 12:52 p.m. So this is basically how candles work. So this sticker at the bottom is the opening price, and then the one at the top is the closing price. You get? Here opening, here close. All right, so let's get back to this. All right, so here candlestick charts are one of the most important tools. They are, yes, for technical analysis. You can't do technical analysis without candlestick charts, basically. And it's not so new. It's not new. It's like you can see the history of candlestick charts since the 17th century. That's a whole long time. That's to tell you that trading is not really new. It's just that we've digitalized it because of our time. Yeah. All right, so that's all for candlesticks. Now we're going to look at trend lines, drawing trend lines. Trend lines they are used by lots of facts. You can't really do, this is like the basics of trading. You can't really do so much trading without learning how to draw trend lines. You get? So trend lines are widely used to by both traders and technical analysts. They are lines that connect certain data points on a chart. Now data points are like time periods and candlesticks. So if you look at this guy here, you find out that there's a trend being drawn from this candlestick to this area, with one or two candlesticks touching the trend, touching the line. You get? At this point, it's being drawn from here to here, but this candlestick is under the, it has crossed the line. This is not a good trend line. This is a good trend line. This one is not a good trend line. Then let me show you how we can draw a trend line on the chart. So let's go to one day. Is everyone following? You can just put it in the chat box so you know if you're following. Wait, I can't see chats. How can I see chats? Maybe when I stop sharing screen. Okay. Okay, Gloria's present. You're not Cynthia. Hey. Okay, what's your question? I've unmuted you. Ask your question. What's your question?
Not like I have a question, but I don't really understand that trending lines and
Trend line
like
thing. Okay.
all the
Okay.
trend lines, how you're doing it, and like I just did not
Okay.
understand that.
The trend line part. Okay, let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you how it works. All right. Let's take a 1 day trade, right? Say I want to draw a trend line. And this is better to draw trend lines on your phone, as I say on phone, on your laptop, on PC. It's quite hard to do it with the mobile device. But let's say we're using PC right now, and I want to draw the line. Trending. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. So let me share my screen. I clicked this before. Why didn't I do this? All right. So if I want to draw a trend line, first, let's say I want to draw a trend line for 1 day. So I want to see where the market is going to. See if I can increase this. So this is better now. All right. So I come here. This line here. So I can choose the color. This is what you used to. Now you need to click Trading View to see this because I was looking for it. I'm used to trading on my phone, so on PC, I was trying to look for it. So you need to click Trading View. There's original. That's where you just look at it without trying to do anything. Then there's Trading View. You click on Trading View. So you come here to, let's say I want to pick a color of my line. So let's say I want it to be yellow, so I can see very well. Now, if I want to draw a trend line, again, it has to start from a candle, and another candle has to touch it. Remember here it says, I was explaining that there are lines that connect certain data points. It means that it shouldn't be one data point. Think of data point as a candle. So there are lines that connect certain data points on a chart. Do you get? Typically, this data is the price, but sometimes not in all cases. That's a class for another time. So an example of very good trend line is if I'm drawing from here to here, you see this guy is touching it. So I come here and I want to draw a trend line. Say, let's say I pick this place. You use the trend lines to determine whether the price of the market is going up or it's going to come down. So, sorry. Done. Okay. So this is here. This is where I started from. I started from this candle, and here this candle touched it. This candle also touched it. You get? With this trend line, I see that okay, BTC price is going up. You get? Over the past few days, I think this should be up to a month or so. Okay, this from September 9th to this. So over the past few days, Bitcoin has been going up. Now this line is quite long. This chart is quite long. Let's take an hourly chart. Let's take a 12-hour chart. Okay, so this is a 12-hour chart, and I want to draw a trend line on this 12-hour chart. So if I'm going to pick from here to here, or let's say that is too short, from here to here, come here, take this. So I'm picking from this guy. Nope, that will not be good because these guys are going to break it. That's not a good trend line. See, this is not a good trend line because, sorry, let's say I'm drawing this. This is not a good trend line at all. This candle is touching it. These ones are touching, but these ones has already broken it. The reason is because trend lines are used to determine the trend of price of a currency. So now I can't say that BTC doesn't break beyond this point because this one has already broken it. So to set a new trend line, I'll need to pick maybe from here to here, or from here, yes. Here it's a better point. So let me delete this one and start from somewhere here to here. So I'm here. All right. Here. So I've taken this. So I started this trend line from here. So in the last 24 hours, I think this date is 19th. Is it 19th? Yeah. So in the past few hours, not 19th. In the past few hours, Bitcoin has not dropped below this trend line at all. It hasn't. So this is what's happening in the past few hours. I'm not sure I'm on the right date. Okay, I think I'm in a different month. This is October. Okay. From October, during this period in October, Bitcoin didn't go below this price. So if I was here and I drew this trend line and I'm looking at this is when Bitcoin hits this price at this point, and here, this one has not touched it. The price keeps that, the trend line is showing me that BTC is going up. Do you get? That's what this trend line is doing. It's helping me analyze that, okay, the price of BTC is actually going up. Do you get? This is a historic thing. This is past. This is not recent, because if you look at it, we're not in November here, we're in October here. Do you get? So if I wanted to draw for November, like for this time, I would go to, let's say, first I'll need to delete this one. Nope. Come to this period. Go back to original. Exit this and come here. I'll need to come here. So without even using the trading view, for some very, very good traders, they can just watch the trend and see that, okay, imagine they draw an imaginary line and say, okay, this is it's going high. Then if they've drawn the line and something happens, the price breaks below that line, they feel like, oh, they should be careful, because it seems like at that point they should buy and not sell. Please let me know if you're following later on. Cynthia, you can unmute yourself. Let me know if you understand what I've said.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Do you understand this?
It's clearer now than before.
Okay. So let's leave here and continue. So this is for drawing trend lines. Now the next thing we're going to do is draw support. Sorry, excuse me. The next thing we're going to do is look at support and resistance. Support and resistance are basic concepts. Okay. They are basic concepts of trading. Now resistance, think of resistance like a ceiling and support like a floor. So resistance levels are price levels that the cryptocurrency is trying to break out but has not broken out of yet. And then support level are price levels that the cryptocurrency has just dropped to. Like that's where it dropped to in the past, maybe 2 days or 4 days or 1 month, however. So it just shows that when you're drawing support and resistance lines, they're to show you if a currency is going to go up or go down. So they kind of guide you on when to buy and when not to buy. Resistance level means like price ceiling. Here the currency has not broken through. And then support level means like price floor, where the currency has not fallen through. So let me come back here and look at drawing a support and resistance level for you. Now, those lines can be as long as however they want. Let's go back to trading view and then okay. Okay, good. So let's take this for example. This guy. So come in here, draw. So it has to touch a candle, So I'm taking it to this guy here. All right. Good time. Okay, so see, at this part that we're drawing, Bitcoin was at 11,521. You look at it here. Usually, when you draw the support, it just shows you the price. So this is like a resistance level, and then let's draw another support line. Let's start from this guy. So I can make it as long as whatever. What does this help me do? I've seen that, like when I go back in time, in the past how many days, this should be up to a month. Bitcoin has not fallen below 9,883. You get? And then during this time period, Bitcoin didn't rise above where is it? Bitcoin didn't rise above 11,595 here. So this is where it did. It didn't rise above 11,573. It did not fall below this, and it did not rise above this. So if I was here during this time period and I'm seeing this candle, it broke, I would say, okay, this guy broke the resistance level. If it broke this resistance level of 11,000 something, it means I was going to go up and keep going up. And you can see that this is what happened. You know, today Bitcoin is at 15 something. At this point here, it didn't fall below this. So it means that if Bitcoin came to this price, let's say I already drew my support level at 9,883. So if Bitcoin was here and it dropped to 10,191, I will still be confident knowing that, okay, Bitcoin is not going to go below this, because from the market trend, this has always been the support. And now, new support and resistance are always made in every trade. Let's come to this other person here. Trying to look at this. Okay, this is a one-day trade. Let me look at a one-day trade. This is a one-day trade. So each candle here represents a day. In the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in the past 2 weeks, 14 days, Bitcoin has not fallen below this. Let me draw the line so you can see. So let's say this is, at this point now, a new support has been made, right? And every time, okay? So if I were to draw this resistance level to be from here, because like this is the highest. So let's say I draw this resistance level. I can see that Bitcoin has broke this resistance. If I drawn this on that day, I would have drawn it from this area. Let's see. Nope, this is not good. This is not a good place to draw this. Let's say I drew from here. Okay. All right. Every time. Click. Okay. Let's reduce this. It's already into my background. Okay, this is a mistake. It's not supposed to enter this other kind. So let's say I drew this from here to here. This is a support, right? It's a support level. In the past 14 days, Bitcoin has not gone below this, below 12,900. You get, and then in the past 14 days also, Bitcoin has not risen above 14,000 something. You get. Now this candle here showing that Bitcoin broke this resistance level, and that's how Bitcoin left this price to around 15, and it's still going up. Do you get? So if Bitcoin drops, let's say tomorrow I wake up and Bitcoin is around this price, I'll check my level of resistance and see what's happening in the past, so I can predict what will happen in the future. So if anything happens and Bitcoin drops to this point, I know that it's a good time to buy because it hasn't broken the support level. Do you get? But then this resistance level has been broken. It means that a new high, a new price level is going to be established. A new resistance level is going to be established because this resistance level here has been broken. So the resistance level here before was 14,000 something. Now it clearly has been broken because Bitcoin has done 1,000 plus. So right now Bitcoin is at 15,579. So I can't use this resistance level anymore. I have to draw another one. Do you understand? Let's delete this. Does anybody have any question? Okay, nobody's raising a hand. No one is raising a hand. Does everyone understand? Okay, I think so. Since no one is all right. Paul. Okay, Paul, you can ask a question.
Okay. I've been trying to ask a question since even in the other one before you got there, but I don't know I was supposed to raise my hand. I just typed on the comment section.
Oh, okay, you can ask
Okay.
both questions.
Okay, let me just ask this one first now. According to your TA here, you're actually drawing the support and resistance line, and then there are these. You remember these candlesticks? There is this tiny line that is passing in between these candlesticks, and some of those lines are short while some are long. Now, I want to ask him, while drawing the trend line, is it supposed to rest on top of the long line on top of the candlestick, or just about anywhere
On top of
around
the long line is
body?
called the ticker. No, not shouldn't be the body. The long line is called the ticker. So it's supposed to
Okay,
rest on the ticker, not the body.
okay. Now, another question is, according to your explanation just now, you were actually saying that if as long as the market price doesn't drop below the support level, if it drops like somewhere around in between the resistance and the support level, then you could
Yes,
actually foresee that, okay, yeah, that's a good time to buy. So
yes, that's
because
it.
if you buy at that point, exactly. So if you buy at that point, there's likelihood that it will still break the resistance level again and even go higher.
Yes,
But
yes,
how about when the market does a fake out? There are times when it
yes,
it checks like it wants to go up, but it ends up going even deeper. So how
yes.
do you how would you be able to tell a fake out when the market is projecting that bullish sign,
Sign.
and you're already seeing, then
See.
before you know it goes bearish?
Okay. You can do that if you understand fundamental analysis. Remember, technical analysis are only on the charts, only happen on the trading platform. But for fundamental analysis, if it looks like the trade is going to look in a certain way, but maybe something is happening in the real world, in the live world. Maybe some persons are announcing that maybe some companies are announcing that this one is a scam, they're gonna sell all their BTC, or maybe something just happens, like what happened during the COVID period, that the market just went down. It was the people who knew that was going to happen, the people who understood fundamental analysis. Do you get? So sometimes that can happen. But the way to know that is basically through fundamental analysis, because at that point it's not following all the laws of all the trading laws, all the technical analysis laws. And then another thing is to prevent that from happening to you, use stop loss. That's just it. Just use stop loss. Okay? Alright, you can mute yourself. Did that answer your question? Innocent, you can unmute yourself. Can you hear me? Okay, hand is still raised. Okay, so I guess that answers your question. But if it doesn't, still let me know. Okay, Emmanuel Effiong has a question. All right.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, I actually came kind of late, but I've been following everything you are saying.
Okay.
Okay, so this Binance, from what I've seen, the Binance.com, this Binance site, is it that it can actually be used to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, different blocks? Because I thought
Yes.
Binance is a smart chain on its own.
Yes. The Binance ecosystem
Okay, so
is beyond just an exchange. Binance has a decentralized exchange also. Binance also has a blockchain. I think there should be that.
blockchain. Okay.
Yeah, Binance has a blockchain also. So it's beyond just an exchange. There are a lot of other um, things on Binance. Lots and lots. Let me see if I can get the
Okay.
basic class for you.
Okay. So another question.
Yeah. What's the next question?
Okay, I can get the basic class on. Okay, my next question is, okay, I've been doing decentralized finance,
Yeah.
DeFi stuff like that, airdrop and all that. So all those tokens that they give, can I actually trade them on Binance? Like, let's say for example, Talk token is under Binance. I think
It's
is it
listed
under
on
Binance
B as
on Binance?
no, not on Binance. It's not yet listed
It's
on
list
Binance.
okay, it's not listed on Binance.
Yes.
Okay,
But you
okay.
can use BSC
Okay,
swap.
Binance. Okay, wait. Binance is not is BNB, right?
Okay. The BNB is the Binance
Yeah,
token. Let me
it's a
present this to
Binance
you
token.
so you can see what I'm talking about. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me share screen. Alright. Okay, so this is the Binance ecosystem, right?
Okay.
This is Binance
Yes, I'm seeing
ecosystem.
it.
Binance has lots of this. You can have this part is the trading aspect. This is the trading part of Binance. So we've got
Okay.
futures trading, smart fiat gateways, meaning that you can deposit naira, you can deposit euro, you can deposit dollars directly from your bank to your Binance account. So that's
Okay.
what fiat gateways mean. Now, Binance has a smart chain, and that smart chain, that the token for that smart chain is BNB smart chain. There's BNB that's BP2, then there's BNB that's BP20. You get, so that one is the
Okay.
smart chain. Binance has decentralized exchanges, so Baker Swap, the swaps you'll be hearing of. In fact, the place where you want to even trade uh, your thoughts is one. It's one of Binance's
Yes.
decentralized exchanges. Do you get? So this is the Binance
Okay.
ecosystem. Binance has an academy, research area, access. There are lots of things that Binance does apart from the exchange. It's also a blockchain. So
Okay.
it's not all the coins you see on those decks that are listed on the decentralized exchange. Do you understand? Some of them are
Okay.
not. Sometimes when coins come up, they start with airdrops, and then if the coin is going to do so well, sometimes they list their airdrop in centralized exchange, their coin in centralized exchanges. So you can also find out if some of the coins that you're doing airdrop on are already listed on Binance. You can find that out.
Okay.
I remember when I was doing an airdrop Origin at that point. When Origin came out, they did an airdrop and then they got listed on Binance. I actually sold my the token they gave to me. I sold it on Binance. So not all airdrops or all coins are listed on Binance. You get?
Okay. Okay.
You get?
Okay. I get.
All right.
Hmm.
So does anybody
Okay.
have any other question?
So one other thing, please,
Oh
the
yes, I have.
basics,
I
the
have.
basics you said.
Okay, you could just sorry, Innocent. Emmanuel, you could join the if you check the chats, I've put a link there to a group. So I can have the basics. I'm going to have this class again. I'm going to have the basic class again. So I'll
Okay.
show everyone, but I'll have it on WhatsApp. So you can join the group so that you can all get together.
Okay. I'm on the chats now,
Okay. So
but I've not seen.
Okay, I'll send it again to you soon. All right, so Innocent, your question.
yes. So yeah. So back to the what do you call it again?
The
The
trading app.
charts.
Yeah.
The charts.
Okay,
Yeah.
you need me to show it. Okay, no problem. All right, let me share screen. Back here. All right, so we're here.
Okay. So as I was saying, okay, yeah. So my other question now is, you see, on these candlesticks, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So on these candlesticks now, the ones on top are quite different from the ones under. Are there different meanings to the ones on top and the ones under?
You
That's number one
understand?
question. Because is
Yes,
there
they
is
have.
there like is there a way they relate to help you determine the
Yep,
market? Okay,
you came
that's
late
the one
for
question.
class. Let me just answer that before you continue. So
Okay.
this the thin lines under, those are called tickers. Those ones show, for example, this I'm on a 1 day view, right? I'm a 1 day trading
Yeah.
view. So it means that each candle represents 1 day. Do you understand? Now on this day, which is like 2 days ago, 11th, yeah, 2nd of November. All right, so you can see the day here. On the 2nd of November, it means that BTC opened the day at this, like this is a bearish candle. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top. It means that BTC opened the day at 13,827 and it closed that day at 13,204. It means that this day was a sell day. I don't know if you remember when I said this red means sell and then green means buy. So
Yeah.
red candles are candles for sell. The same thing with the market with the other book. The red part is the part where has to do with selling, and then the green part that has to do with buying. So this day was just a bearish day. People were just selling. You get? And so the market opened at 13,827 and closed at this bottom here, ticker at 13,204. Now this candle here is a bullish candle. It means that on this day people were buying. There were more buyers than sellers on this day in the market. Now the market opened at 13,299 and closed at 14,092. Do you understand? Same thing with this one. This one is a bullish candle also. So the tickers at the bottom, they show you the opening or closing day. So if it's for a bearish candle, you start from the top to go down, and then from the bullish candle, you start from the bottom to go up. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay, now what I'm trying to ask you is put here exactly where you are right now. You see that under this bearish candle there's another larger candle under it, very large.
Oh, okay. This one is the volume. This is not a
What
candle
is that?
actually. It shows the volume.
Okay, what does that mean? I mean
The volume of trade that day.
okay.
So
So is there a
let me
way?
put that. So if you see here, it means that 63.88 thousand students. Okay, 60.88 thousand BTC, not amount.
Yes.
BTC as per the currency, as per the SAT. So 63.88 thousand BTC was traded on this day. So
we are sold that day. Okay.
Yes, this day.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now again, the other thing I wanted to ask again is, I see some doji candlesticks, like this particular one.
What do you mean by doji?
Okay,
Okay. Sorry, doji. Okay, I thought you said doji. It's not doji. All right.
Okay, so yes. Okay,
That's this one's yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I get.
So now, does that really, since it's like that now, how would you predict such a market? Because the volume seems to be very high, why the sales was small?
Notice that this is a day. We are on a day view.
Yeah, I know.
This is where we are on. So you can't really tell. You can't make an analysis on this day until maybe you go to this day and then you check for a 12-hour view or a 1-hour view. Then you can actually make some analysis. But just looking at this candle like this, you can't just make an analysis on this. It has to be relative to what happened in the past and what happened in its future, because it's historic. Do you get? We're trying to predict what will happen in the future, not say what happened in the past. But what has happened has already happened already. But if you really want to know how this market went, you'll have to go to this day and then pick an hourly view to find out, okay, how the candles behaved at that point and the things that happened on that day. Do you understand?
Okay, so please, one last question. I just want you to throw more light on how this volume and such low, small candlestick like the doji and the higher ones relates to predicting the market, whether going up or down.
Okay, fine. So that's what we come to on technical analysis. All right, so let's come back here. So I'm going to show you how this works. So we're done with support and resistance. Does anybody have any question before I continue? No. Right. Okay, so let's come here. So we've seen how support and resistance work. The next one is relative strength index. For relative strength index, we're saying that this is an indicator that illustrates whether an asset is overbought or oversold. In fact, even if you don't, even if you don't have know how to draw trend lines, this RSI is very important for trading. Even if you don't know how to use trend lines, if you know how to use this, you'll be able to tell where the market is going to and when you should buy or not. The period when BTC nearly touched 15,000 and dropped to 14,000, someone was asking me if they should buy, and I said no. And the reason I could say that was because I'd looked at the RSI. Now, how to get there? Let me remove this trade view. Original. All right. So I just come here to this part that says technical indicator. Click on it, and I get to RSI. Right. Now, look at this, guys, at the bottom. This is RSI. Now, at this point, let me come back here so you can see it clearly. At this point, it's oversold. Sorry. Okay, at this point at the bottom, it means that the price of that coin is being oversold and it's likely going to go high. Do you get? At this point at the top, it means that the price of that currency is being that currency is being overbought and it's likely going to drop. Do you understand? That's what it means. So now let's look at this. Let's look at this here. So let's look at one that has happened before, and then we're going to try and predict the future. All right. So we'll find out that when BTC comes to this point, when Bitcoin came to this point, it dropped. You know, came up a little, dropped, came up, and stayed up for a while, and then dropped. Now at this point, it has dropped. It's coming up again. Most likely, from my prediction here, it looks like BTC is going to stay at this point for a while, and maybe also go high. Because if you look at the bottom from here, if I were to draw, let's say, this is not usually done, but I can just use my eye to gauge and see that, okay, from this point, no time has, during this period, Bitcoin has not dropped to this point here. Bitcoin hasn't dropped to this level at all. So it's just increasing and then coming down and increasing and coming down. From here, it looks like it's still being bought. We cannot say here whether it's being overbought or oversold. We can say at this point it was oversold, but at this point the trend is still continuing. Do you get? But we've seen that in this area here, this is the volume of trade that was made on BTC before it came down. Do you understand? This was what day? This was 8th of this month. Yeah. On the 8th of this month, this was the volume of BTC that was traded before it came down. It hasn't gotten back yet to this volume. Do you get? And it has not even like gone over this volume yet. So at this point, for me, this is not a financial advice. Sorry, advice. This is not a financial advice. But at this point, for me, I'm still going to buy, because from what I can analyze, this is still going to go up again as per from this volume. So this is what RSI does. It helps you see when a cryptocurrency is being overbought or being oversold. Do you understand that aspect? So then again, to get to RSI, all you need to do is come here, technical indicator, click on it and click on RSI. So once I click on it, it goes out. Once I click on it, it comes back up, basically. Then I think there's one remaining. So the next one is moving averages. Now, moving averages smooth out price action and make it easier to spot market trends. They are based on previous price data and they lack predictive qualities. In other words, they are like, people don't use them so much. Okay, Cynthia raised her hand. You have a question. Okay, you can unmute yourself. You can ask your question, Cynthia. 'Cause, 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 ' Hi, Cynthia.
Okay, I was finding difficult to unmute myself. Okay, so my question is in the RSI.
Yes.
So from what you said, from your explanation now, I got that when people are rushing to buy a coin, is that coin is likely to drop. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I thought that if people are rushing to buy a coin, that coin is meant to go higher
Yes.
because people are
Okay.
buying it.
Yes. Now listen.
Hmm?
Listen. There's a short term and long term to this. You get. Now this is a short term to this. The other thing you should know is that technical analysis are for like short term trade. Trade that with 1 day, 2 days, 1 month. Then fundamental analysis are mostly long term trades. Now, when Bitcoin came out, at first it was just $1 and it started increasing. The more people started buying it, the price began to increase. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Over time, that's a long time. But on technical analysis, on trading, when a coin is being overbought, likely it's going to come down because people are going to stop buying at a point, and so people are going to start selling. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, some persons, let's say Bitcoin was $12,000. People bought at the $12,000. Bitcoin came at $13,000. People bought. People came at $14,000. People bought. It came at $15,000. People bought. If it keeps going up like this, a time will come when people want to sell to collect their profits. Do you understand?
Okay.
That's basically what make the currencies go up and down. So probably at least 16,000, the people that bought here want to take profit and sell here. So people that bought here want to take profit and sell here. Do you understand? And then another
Yeah.
thing, there's something called FOMO and FOD in cryptocurrency.
There's something called what?
FOMO, that's fear of missing out, and then there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. These things also can affect the price of a currency. Do you understand? So when you're trading in the markets, when you're using your RSI, you look at the period where the coin, it looks like, let me take a point where Bitcoin traded so much. Here, 100K Bitcoin was sold. Let me take a point here so I can show you something. All right. At this point here, what's the highest? At this point here, 94 BTC, 94,000, sorry, that's in 1,000 BTC was sold. And then it came down to this. What happened here? People who had bought at this point here, or people who had bought at this point were selling at this point. That's what happened. And when it came down again, same people will come here, buy, and then when it goes up, they sell. When it comes down, people will come here, buy, and when it goes up, they sell. So you need to know, like, okay, here at this point, people just bought BTC at this point. And at this point, also, people still also just bought. So I know that it's still going to increase. That it's not yet time for people to just start dumping or to start selling. So right now, people are still buying BTC. It will come to a point where it will be high, and then at that point is when I'm going to sell, so that I don't lose the value of my BTC when the market is selling. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's the importance of RSI indicator. So you can actually look at this and decide.
Okay. So you're saying when there is rush in the market, we sell or what?
That's why you should buy first. Buy when the market is low and sell when the market is high. At that point, when people are already wanting to buy, and something called FOMO, fear of missing out, is setting in, you shouldn't start buying at that point. That's the point you should start selling. Because when the FOMO reduces, people are not going to sell their BTC. And then fear, uncertainty, and doubt sets in. Do you get it?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we're done with RSI. Let's go on to the next part. Okay, we're nearly done. Okay, I've talked to us about moving averages are basically for they help you set market trend or spot market trend. I'm going to show you what how to use moving averages. And then, excuse me, Bollinger Bands. Now, this is an indicator made up of 3 lines. You know, the middle band, that's a smoothly moving average, that's for the middle band, and the upper and lower band to show support and resistance. So Bollinger Band is like moving average, support and resistance together. And let me show you how it looks like on the charts. So remember again, here is where you get the technical indicators. And when you want to draw your trend line, you come to trading view, and these guys will open. So let's go back to original. I'm not here to draw a trend line. I want to show you how to use the moving averages. So I can actually decide, sorry. So there are estimated moving averages and then there's normal moving averages. Now these lines kind of show the volume, that's trend of where the currency is going to. And then the Bollinger Bands show you the support and resistance level, the moving average, and also, okay, those are the 3 things it shows. This line at the bottom, this is the Bollinger Band. This line at the bottom, let's see if I can edit this. Okay, let's close this. So this is the Bollinger Band. This line at the bottom shows you the support. This one at the top, resistance. And then the middle has to do with the moving average. It just shows you, okay, on a long term where the trend is going to, you know, for the price of a certain currency. Now, this doesn't only happen with BTC. This happens with any currency, any cryptocurrency that's traded on Binance. So you can see all these, you can use all these indicators for other currencies. You can draw a trend line for other currencies, not only for BTC. Do you understand? Okay. All right, that's for this. Then there are different kinds of trading. There are 3 kinds, I think. Yeah, 3 kinds. There's scalping. Scalping is the trading within the smallest time frames. Now you know that the market is highly volatile, very, very, very volatile. Meaning that in minutes, in hours, in seconds, things can happen. So now, if I understand how to use my various technical indicators, I can get them and use them to find out how would the trend go in the next 10 minutes, or in the next 5 minutes, or in the next 15 minutes, or 1 hour, and then place my trades. Do you understand? So scalping is trading within seconds or minutes. The highest I've seen actually is like 15 minutes. But you can also do 1 hour if you want. That's for scalping. Then day trading. Day trading is basically, like it says, day trading within a day. So you start the trade at a certain point in a day, and then you close it maybe 24 hours later, the other day, the next day. So here you use, for all the types of trade, you use these technical indicators to determine where the price will go, and then you place your trade accordingly. You know? So this is what happens. I'm pretty sure you've seen some movies where, especially in the stock exchange markets, where people are trading that day. There's a price that the market opens at, and there's a price that the market closes at per asset. So that's what happens also in maybe when you're using your computer or when you're using your phone to trade. The next one is swing trading. Sorry. So swing traders trade at a longer time. Very, very, very long time. Not very, very big, but a longer time, like maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So I like using the example of when BTC dropped this year, earlier this year. There were a lot of people that bought at $5,000, some at $6,000, some at $10,000. You know, so those people that bought at that period, now they are getting the profits of what they got. But it took them a while. It took some 4 months, took them some 5 months, took some 3 months. You know, that's an example of a swing trader. All these kind of tradings can be done on Binance Exchange. You can do scalping, you can do day trading, you can do swing trading, on the Binance Exchange. All of this. All right. So for practicals, I think I showed you how to do some of these things on your mobile and also on your PC. In the class that we're going to have on WhatsApp, please join the click on that link and click on the link that I'm going to put. I think some of you have seen it. If you haven't, just click on that link. Let me stop screen sharing so I can get there. All right, so click on this link to join the group because I'm going to do the practical session of depositing on Binance and doing other things basically on Binance. I'm going to do that on the group so that you can see. Because not everybody would have the time to stay through for the class. So on the group, you will see it. And also, I'm going to share the link to this video there. All right, let me share screen again. So basically, what I'm doing, you can also do. You can become a tutor. You can sign up to become a tutor. This is my Binance class campaign that Binance is holding. It's ending in, I think, in December, first week. I think, yeah, first week of December. That's when it's ending. So I'm going to send you the link also. Put it on the group, on the chat box. All right. So we've come to the end of the class today. Let me stop sharing. Does anybody have a question? So I'm sharing the link now. Here it is. So if you want to apply to become a My Binance tutor, just click this link and follow through the process. There's a small test to write if you're someone who already knows about cryptocurrency. All right, Cynthia, you have a question.
Okay. What I want to ask, is it encouraged to buy a token and keep it in your Binance account? Like for someone that wants to hold, let's say I want to buy BNB now and I want to hold it. Can I do that on Binance or I need to have another wallet?
You can do
like,
that
is it
on Binance.
I can do that.
Yes, because Binance, there's something called SAFU. It means that your funds, if something happens on Binance and it is, let's say somebody hacks and steals, a lot of people's currencies in the wallet, that happens. Binance can refund, your assets back. So it's called SAFU. Let me just Google to get the correct. What is SAFU? It just means that your funds are safe.
Yes.
It stands for Secure Asset Fund for Users. Yes. So Binance has secured the asset of your funds. So you can actually buy cryptocurrencies and hold them in your Binance account. But if you don't want to do that, maybe you want to have your own, be in charge of your own currencies and have them in your own wallet. You can download Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is owned by Binance also. You can download Trust Wallet. And when you do, save your private keys. Because if you lose your private keys, then you've lost access to that wallet and all the funds in it. You get it?
Okay, so another question I want to ask is,
yeah.
Is there any way that one can know a token like that has potential? Like now you have Ethereum, you have BTC, now they are hotcakes. So, and I know there are still upcoming tokens too. So
Yes.
like, how can one know, like, read about those things?
Okay, that's fundamental analysis, basically.
Okay.
And another thing is, when you get on Binance have blog articles that they write for certain currencies that are coming up, maybe that are entering the innovation platforms, or currencies that they are about to list, currencies that they are partnering with. When you follow through on those, like when you download the app, Binance app, and you start trading, or maybe you create your account and stuff, Binance can give you notifications of those articles. Now, when you go through those articles, you can find out some new things about some certain currencies and actually go to their website and find out things about them. You get another place to go to is coinmarketcap.com. Let me just write it. Coinmarketcap.com. Now that's the part where that's the site you can go to check for listings of different coins that are coming up in the market. When you, let's say you are interested in a certain coin, maybe BNB, when you click on BNB, you can take it to Binance website. You can also see the price history of the coin, when it started, what it's doing. You can also see, when you get to the website of that coin, you can find out what they are about, you know, and what maybe new partnerships they're about to do, or new stuff that new activities they're about to take on. Those things can let you know if a coin has a good use case and will be used in the future, or if its value will increase in the future. So that's some aspect of fundamental analysis. So what you can do is like go on Binance blog. Binance do write about coins that they are adopting or they are partnering with or that they're listing in their innovation platforms. And then you can check CoinMarketCap to do your analysis on other currencies.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Excuse me. Does anybody have any more question? Any? Okay, so in the absence of any more question, we're going to get to the part of the sign-ups. So in the class, like in the group, please make sure you click to join the group. And when you do, you're going to get some. Sorry. Okay. You're going to get some instructions on how to set up your account, how to deposit, how to carry out your KYC, and how to withdraw also directly to your account. If you're in Nigeria, you can deposit Naira, and you can also withdraw your Naira directly to your bank account without any hassle or stress. So please join the group so we can continue the demonstrations there. All right. Okay, so that's all for today. That's all for today. Okay, let's make sure anything. Oh, okay, Gloria. Okay, I'm going to attend to Gloria later. You can start to be. All right. Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I'll end this class now.